Alright, so this is a true story. Me and that kid Pauly that I was talking about in my other video. Yeah, so after I helped him from getting bullied, I kind of got him into a little bit of trouble, but it was all in good fun, But, so at the time, me and Pauly, we met up after school, and, we ended up going to, like, the party store, and, which wasn't far from my house. I had him come over to my house, take a bus, his mom wrote a note for him. And we walked down to the party store, and we got, like, these, like, cans of, like, called, like, fire spray and, like, fart bombs. I don't know if you know what those are, but, like, you squeeze them, and then they, like, inflate, and then they blow up, and they smell like straight shit. So we grabbed him out of them fucking things. And I'm like, yo, Pauly. And I'm like, Pauly, we're gonna bring these things to school tomorrow. I got a plan. So he's like, oh man, I don't know if that's a good idea. I can't be getting in trouble and shit. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll do it. So the next morning, we meet up in the morning, and we're talking at school, and we're on our way to lunch. And I'm like, oh, come here, come this way. So all of a sudden, we run down this hallway, and there's like barely any kids, probably 2 or 3 kids. And I'm like, oh, quick, grab a can. He's like, no. So I'm like, oh, give me your can. So I had 2 cans. I ran down the hall, spraying both sides of the lockers, and the whole hallway smelled like shit. And then I'm like, come on, let's go. So we run to the lunchroom. All of a sudden, we sit down, start eating lunch and stuff. So I slip one under the table to the left, I slip one under the table to the right. This time it wasn't the spray, it was the fart bombs that, you squeeze them and you can throw them and they just go off. All of a sudden, there's mad kids at the lunch table puking and stuff. There's everyone running out of the lunchroom. The teacher's all mad, wondering where it came from, asking everybody who did it. And after lunch, I'm like, come on, Pauly, I got one more place to hit. So on the way back from lunch, we take a left down the hallway, and the nurse's room was down the hall. So we went to the nurse's room, and there was like a thickness under the door. It was like really thick. I squeezed one of those bombs. I slid it under there. I waited till it popped, and then I took off running, and I could hear her yelling all the way up.